Hey, did you ever miss a trade, like the morning's price action, and you worried the whole day is ruined? I missed out on a ton of setups, and it causes you to revenge trade, have fear of missing out, also known as FOMO. Any of those things? Have you ever had any of those emotions while you're trading because the market causes that? Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you a couple of different tricks on how to stop it. I am Ryan Osira, and I am co-founder of Precision Trading Labs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something that happened to me today in the market, and how it probably saved me from causing any kind of big mistakes. Now I'm trading for a long time, so I have about 15 years experience under my belt. So some of those normal emotions, I have them, but like I've learned to check them. So what I want to do is I want to go in and share a trade that I just took. Just got out of it about 10 minutes ago. The market is about a couple minutes from closing. So it's kind of the perfect time to look at it. Trade's already done, not accessible after that. So what I want you to do is take a look at the I'm going to share my screen, take a look at what we're going to do, and I'm going to take a look at the micro NASDAQ Futures. I'm going to show you the trade and how something like this can save you from really ruining a day, especially on days today where we're super bearish. We've got that big down move today, and some people are saying, I missed it. I could have made so much money. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's a normal emotion in the market. Okay, you have to learn to control that, but you can't learn to control that without a strategy that teaches you how to do that. Luckily, the strategy I use kind of it forces discipline on you in a good way, right? Where like the structure that you have really saves you from, doesn't mean every trade's going to be a winner either, but it saves you from doing a lot of dumb things. So why don't we do this? Let me share my screen. I will hold on. I will add you to the Zoom here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to share this NQ trade I just had. And one of the mistakes I almost made, I had no idea that the trade had triggered. Okay, so I use a bracket order on all my trades. I do a set and forget method with all of my trades. The only time I monitor a trade is if like I know I'm in it and it's starting to go and I think I can get more out of it, then I'll press a little bit, right? But mostly I prefer to just not be in the trade. So in this experience, I have to be flat. My cash account's different. That you don't have to worry about. But when you're trading a funded account, so I have a couple of funded accounts, and you have to be flat by 5 p.m. Most days I'm flat by 4 p.m. Today my trade triggered at 3:50. Okay, so 10 minutes to go until the New York close, and then 5 o'clock before the futures close. So let's go in and see what happened. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through the exact steps I took today of why I didn't let the market beat me and why I don't chase price, because just it doesn't usually pay off, right? So again, some of this is me, but let's go into trading view, and I'm going to share my screen here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to look at micro NASDAQ futures. I'm probably just going to stick to the 5 minute chart because that's all I need. All right, let me share my screen here. And I've got 4 monitors. So let's go ahead and all right, we're sharing. Okay, so again, we're going to look at the micro NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow probably look similar. Which reminds me, I got to look at a setup for one of my students. Vincent sent me a Dow setup that I had to check on. So, all right. So if you look at this here, let's just go through today's price action. Okay. So there's the open. All right, right there. Okay, this candle here, price breaks out, rips up this way. Okay, and as you can see, kind of hung out, probably caught a bunch of traders. You know, caught a bunch of people just like too long, and they were, they, oh wow, I ripped that, I bought that breakout, they wrote it here, and then just promptly the market took their money back, right? So this is where people wrongly start chasing price up, and then price comes down. I saw this guy here and I set this trade. I was like, ooh, that's very nice, right? So price comes down, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I set this trade up early in the day, probably around 11.
Yeah, right around, let's see, it was after that move. All right, right around about 11:30, this move had been completed, and I set this trade up first. Then, middle of the day, I'm having a conversation. We're setting up some currency trades today, and I'm having a conversation with one of my students. He's sharing some stuff with me, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I see this in the afternoon, and I see that 5 minute supply zone. So when it comes through here, all right, I see this guy, right? And let's move that over. Let's pretty this up a little bit. I see that it meets all of my criteria. If you want to know what some of my criteria is, drop a comment below. It has to meet a certain criteria, and I was just taking one of my students who was had a question. I took him through the criteria that we take before we do any trade, right? So it has to meet this like 10-point checklist, and if it meets the criteria, you're ready to rock and roll. Okay. And as you can see, this is where the trade triggered right at 350. So 10 to 4. I have actually had a decent amount of success as we go into the close. These last There was a time I wasn't as good trading into the close, but I just didn't also get a ton of setups. Now I seem to, the last like 5 or so years, it's been a little bit, the price action just behaved a little better. As you can see, that's the trigger. Price started to come out. I witnessed absolutely none of this. I didn't even know the trade had triggered, right? So there it is. There's my entry at 350. It re-entered again right at 4 o'clock. And at a little after 4, I was like, okay, I got to cancel all my orders because I had open orders on let's see. You know what? I'd rather not show the trade tracker. So let's just go over here. I had about 3 pending orders. I was like, oh, let me just go check my orders, and those are just the trade tracker where we share with our students there. So anyway, I had 3 pending orders, and I was going to go and cancel them. So I go to cancel all, and then I said, "Ooh, what is that? I only see 2 orders. 2 orders means that I have one is triggered." So I'm like, "Ooh, okay, what's going on?" And then I look and I see, and doing pretty well per contract. Let's see, I was up. Believe I had. Damn, I apologize. I don't want to go into my trade of it, but I had 8 contracts. I was up like it was a nice trade. It was like a 480 or just under $500, something like that. So price comes in here and drops like a rock. I get just a little less than 3 to 1 on the trade because I closed. Oh, maybe that was 3 to 1. Yeah, it was 3 to 1 exactly. Actually, maybe I put a target like 2.8 or something like that. But regardless, this is why you don't need to chase price. You will eventually get your setup. If you miss a trade for the day, life is not over. There's no money left in the market. Okay, you've got to be a little bit patient. And yeah, I get it. If you work a job and you're working at whatever, if you're driving a truck or you're happen to be a dentist and you're going to be with patients all day, a little harder to watch the market. But when you do get your time to watch the market, you know, picking the setup is more important than chasing price. Just because price dropped like a rock today doesn't mean you were going to get a really great setup. You'd be better off waiting for your point and then coming and get it. Notice this kind of structure. This kind of structure, which I call the set and forget structure, that that allows you to let the trade come to you. You don't have to be behind the computer screen. And it works with futures, forex, options, stocks. Doesn't make a difference, and that gives you a whole lot of power in a trade because you're not chasing. Right, you're in complete control, so you avoid FOMO, you avoid revenge trading, a lot of the bad emotions in the market that really take your money, and it doesn't take a whole bunch of time. I said this now, I did cancel that above trade, which is still viable, so I'll be setting that up for this evening. But I have this MNQ trade that I'm looking at, and then I had this at the end of the day. Okay, so I checked on the market. I set this up in a couple of minutes. Not even like a whole day or watching the market or anything like that. So a pretty nice trade, a nice way to close out the day. So once come on here, share that with you guys, and really want you to take this into account. You don't need to chase price. Sometimes you just have to wait for price to come to where you want it to get to. So with that, I hope I left you with a little bit of trading wisdom. I am Ryan from Precision Trading Labs. If you would like to see more of how this strategy can help you, go down below. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can either get some free information and then book a call with me. Go right ahead and check that out. The link in the description. And if you find yourself chasing trade, throw a comment down below. I'd love to talk to you and see what you're doing and either control those emotions, or if you'd like some guidance on that, happy to have a conversation with you about how you can get around that emotion. So with that, I am going to stop sharing, and then I will get us out of here, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys.